come to this lesson is going to be more like a practical lesson. So it's titled Practical Classification and Identification. So we'll be giving you rules that are necessary when you are trying to do practical, that's biological practicals. So practical classification and identification involves actual processes and sorting. So actual process of sorting and naming organisms using available tools and observable characteristics. So these processes are essential in biological research, environmental studies, and agriculture for understanding species diversity and relationships. So in practical classification, biologists try to observe key traits in organisms based on their morphology, which is their physical appearance, their physiology, and also behavior. So these observable features help to group organisms into appropriate taxa. So for organisms, the presence of scales and cold-blooded nature can help to place the organisms under Reptilia. It can help to place organisms under a class called Reptilia. Also, dichtomous keys are tools. So these are another form that is used to classify organisms. So they are known as dichtomous keys. So they are tools that are used in identification of organisms. So they present a series of choices that leads users to help to step by step identify an organism. So these keys or these tools, they are called dichtomous tools. So they can be used to present series of choices to help users identify living organisms. So each step involves a question about organism characteristics, guiding the classifier towards the correct taxon. That's the correct taxa in some other places. So fields or field guides. So these they are used for practical classification. So both field guides and taxonomical manuals, they are both used for practical classification. So these resources, they contain detailed descriptions, image, and also identification keys for various organisms, making it indispensable for you to be able to miss a particular living organism or mix its name. So it makes it indispensable in the field of biology and ecological survey to mix the names of organisms. So these are just methods for naming living organisms to prevent confusion among scientists. So laboratory identification. So these are techniques that now include molecular methods such as DNA barcoding, and these methods provide precise and quick identification, especially in case of microorganisms and cryptic species. So they are difficult to distinguish using only morphology. So these kind of microorganisms where you cannot tell how they look specifically, even when you are using a microscope, you cannot just distinguish them just like that. So there is a naming system that is used to distinguish this kind of organism, and this naming system is called known as laboratory identification technique. So this method of naming this kind of organisms is known as laboratory identification techniques, and this kind of method, it uses stuff like DNA barcoding to classify different organisms. So accurate classification and identification helps practical implication in agriculture, medicine, and environmental conservation. So correctly identifying pests and also pest species, for instance, can help to choose effective controls and measures, while identifying medicinal plants can help to improve pharmaceutical research. So if we don't identify or classify organisms perfectly, it will be difficult for us to be able to make decisions in regards to those organisms. So in case of pests now, as mean there was a pest infesting a particular farmland in agriculture, if they cannot tell the exact pest or the exact species of pest that it is, probably they will be using pesticides that are not harmful to that particular kind of pest, or probably pesticides that probably will even cause the more growth of that particular pest. So understanding these pests species, understanding the pest species and being able to identify that particular pest can help to control that pest effectively. The same thing is also applied in the field of medicine by identifying plants and be able to find their pharmacological traits. This is known as, in some kind of fields, known as phytological and phytochemical analysis. So this kind of analysis is used to identify different plants and be able to carry, so it will be able to help in carrying out pharmacological research to develop different drugs and different use cases for these plants. So in conclusion, practical classification and identification are vital tools in biology that can help to organize living organisms in the natural world. So by using observations, the Thomas keys, and modern molecular techniques, scientists can accurately classify and identify living organisms for research and application purposes. So that will be all for this lesson. Goodbye.